out there, folks. I am a complete doofus who's forgotten her name. I'm the KQ from Wellington, and tonight we're beginning the final episode of Sorcery, Book 4. Well, virtual book. These aren't physical books, but we're doing our best here. Tonight should be interesting because I have no idea what weird gimmicks this thing is going to throw at us. For all I know, it's just gonna... I don't know. It's just gonna tell us, like, hey, in this book, if you die, you have to go back to book 1. And I'm gonna die immediately from, like, shoving my sword up my nose. I think we're arriving in book 4 with, like, a blunt sword, 2 blunt swords, a soggy backpack, just a whole bunch of stuff, you know? And, that's gonna be fun? Yes? We're not doing perfectly. We are not getting out of this perfectly. I wouldn't be surprised if we finish this with a bad ending. But sometimes that's just how things go. And I'm fine with it. Well, fine with it as long as you guys are. If you demand that I replay the entire series to get a good ending, I guess it's how it's gonna have to work. Well, we are about 2 minutes and 40 out. At that point, I could use a guide off stream. That's true. At that point, I could use a guide on stream. At that point, I could pull up a guide and be like, okay, we didn't do that. We didn't do that. We missed that. But I'm sure that there are many people out there who have done perfect playthroughs. You can probably watch those. This is a unique playthrough. It sucks. I kind of do want to pull up a bunch of guides when I'm done and just... Because I've looked at a few guides for this game. Like, when we were trying to finish book 2. I looked at some guides and I was like, okay, this guide says there is one way to accomplish this. And this guide says there are 2 ways to accomplish this, but critically, neither of the ways to accomplish it listed are the one the first guy gave. So it's clear that there is some flexibility here, I just don't know how much. It feels like a lot, though. That was book 2, I don't know if book 3 is different, but there exists a, like, no beacons, all serpents guide. Which means that there's gotta be some stuff you can do. And that's the nature of these books, in a way, is that it's like in a James Bond movie. He goes to Q and he gets his gadgets. And he never comes back with, like, a box of gadgets that he never even touched, and a really confused expression. He uses all the gadgets throughout the course of the story. This game has to liberally sulk in gadgets all over the place. Because you are constantly losing them or forgetting them, or you collect all the right stuff to pull off a gambit, and then you take a left at the fork and you never encounter the situation where the gambit gets set up. And that fascinates me in a way. It is, in a lot of ways, a game where you can constantly shoot yourself in both feet as often as you could ever want to. You can just blaze away at your feet and shoot yourself in them. So let's see how we're shooting ourselves in the foot tonight. And which feet we're shooting ourselves in. Maybe I'll shoot myself in one of your feet. I don't know. Maybe your feet will shoot back. Maybe we'll get in a gunfight. Shootout at the Footsie Corral. You ever realize you've been on the internet too long and maybe you should stop talking? Let's play a video game. Welcome to Sorcery. Stay in a window, please. Okay, I gotta pull up Notepad real quick, because I need my password. Part 4, The Crown of Kings. Enter a cloud spell. And one saved adventure. Could I access somebody else's adventure save by, like, just putting in a random password? I don't know. You defeated 3 of the 7 serpents, you learned the secret of the secret sleepless ram, and you saved Kari from the marsh goblins. Are those things that matter? Probably. Sword, broadsword, silver sword, hefty arrow. We kept the arrow! Theria, we kept the arrow! Silver chain, the sun serpent orb, a whistle, a flask of oil, a set of dye, locket, compass, tinderbox, bark, spellbook, notebooks. Okay, we got stuff. 5 weapons. Okay, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. The arrow is a weapon? Interesting. There is a legend. Long ago, or so they say, the ancient world was prosperous and free. From the Kakabad Sea. Okay, wait a minute. Hold up. I left the volume up a little bit. From the Kakabad Sea to Lake Lumele, harvests were plentiful, people were happy, all was at peace. Even the thundering skies were calm, tamed by the arts of the sorcerers of Manpeg. Then everything changed when the Fire Nation... No, sorry. A fearsome sorceress leveled the cities and turned the field to dust with towers of devastating light. She heard no plea. Cutting down village after village. The mages scrabbled to defend the ancient world, but they were weak. Finally, the last archmage sealed the walls of Manpeg and sent out 7 deadly serpents to keep the dark sorceress away. Yet the music is drowning me out. That's not... What is the deal here? Hold on. I'm just gonna mute this for a second. Okay. The mages scrabbled to defend the ancient world, but they were weak. Finally, the last archmage sealed the walls of Manpeg and sent out 7 deadly serpents to keep the dark sorceress away. They failed. And now here you are, climbing the narrow path into the mountains of High Zaman. The price of your journey across the Bachlands has already been paid. Now the Anno land is coming to Manpeg, and nothing will be allowed to stand in her path. The crown will be yours. We're the villain now, apparently. I'm just adjusting the sound to hopefully make it not so booming. I'm about to turn the volume back on. Unmute. Okay. I guess there is no more music here. You're attacking the Archmage, you're the villain of their story. It's true, I am the villain of their story. Now I'm the villain in your history. Ankle presents a 3D map. Wow, dang. Can you imagine opening a book and, like, this pops up out of the cardboard? That'd be fucking rad. Did I actually unmute this? Yeah, according to this, yes. The stars turn in the sky overhead. You climb an ancient staircase. The steps barely visible in the dark. There's very soft crickets. I don't know if they're coming from this. One moment. Yeah, they might be. Okay. Casting a regretful glance backward, you can almost make out the glittering waters of Lake Ikalaka. It seems an age since you crossed that way. You draw your broadsword an inch from its scabbard, its edge flashing in the moonlight. It is a stout, well-weighted weapon, if hardly fine. The truth is that it, like you, were the best that Anolan could spare. In the distance, black smoke curls upwards. Hey, it's not blunt anymore. Cool. You do not need to open your pack to check your provisions. You have nothing. But at least you have one portion of raw meat, which will be edible if you can find a way to cook it. Pulling up your hood against the freezing air, you stride onward into the dark. You must not linger out here. Yay, I'm full of raw meat. I'm sure that will be great comfort when the wolves come. I'm full of raw meat. You reflect on your progress with a heavy heart as you climb. The Bachlands were a cursed place, and your journey across them was too slow. The serpent's message must have reached your master by now. The secret, you're always full of raw meat. Oh my god, you're right. I'm made of meat. Everyone is made of meat. Oh no! I can't think about that right now. You walk on, moving as quickly as you can through the narrow path. The night air is cold. The Zanzunu peaks rise on either side like jagged teeth. The path winds back and forth as it climbs, and glints of the brooding horror of Mampeg come and go. Night is fallen, and the path will be treacherous. You should find somewhere to rest as soon as possible. Another night in the wilderness will not make any difference. The remaining serpents will surely have reached their master by now, regardless. Sing as I climb. You try to sing as you climb. An old Anolan song that tells of a wandering wizard and his 3 small children. But even you cannot be jolly in this dread place. Song dies in your throat. Have a holly jolly Wismas. Rough undergrowth springs up, shadowing the path on either side. There might be enough shelter to sleep. You step off the path to shelter among the scrubs. There is a wet crunch beneath you as you lie down. Looking down, you find you have crumpled several eggs. A moment later, an angry mother spikehawk rears up from the thicket. She screams with rage as she tears at your side. You waste no time returning to the path. The hawk circles its shattered eggs, screaming and clawing, but not chasing you. But perhaps you will find something better further on. You resume the climb up the endless stairs. You know, even in like the non-jolly horror place or whatever, I managed to find a little bit of slapstick. Now I'm depressed and covered in egg. Wonderful. The sky is already beginning to warm in the east. You reach the top of the stairs. Rounding the corner, still looking for shelter, you find 3 cave mouths set into the rock. You regard the caves with interest. The middle cave has the smallest entrance and probably opens into a niche and nothing more. The nearest cave would be large enough for a fire, but looks deep enough to contain any number of nasty surprises. A series of hoof prints lead into the mouth of the furthest cave. Let's try the middle place. During the past day, you began your ascent into the mountains. The Archmage is aware of you. In the distance, the sun breaks over the horizon. You have been awake all night and are weaker for it. You approach the smallest cave mouth and kneel down to peel inside. You might be able to crawl inside, but it will be a tight squeeze. You call a wordless greeting into the cave mouth, listening for the echo, ready to react. Should you disturb any creatures? Nothing stirs. As your eyes adjust to the darkness within, you can see beyond the entrance. The space opens up somewhat. Moving quickly, you crawl into the mouth of the cave. You are barely through the entrance to the chamber when a terrible howling noise booms around the tiny chamber. You could use the tinderbox to make a spark. That would burn my spellbook. I don't want to burn my spellbook. Let's just wait. You wait a moment, and slowly your eyes adjust to the dark, but you can see nothing in the chamber. Then a tiny creature brushes your leg. The thing is a jib-jib. No more dangerous than an overgrown mouse. Hey, why is it drawn like that? Why does it have, like, great big feet and great big eyes and lips and... It's fucking like Fizzgig from, The Dark Crystal. Covered in fur, no larger than a bamba fruit, it stands on two duck-like feet. Its body must be mostly lungs, as despite its size, when it howls it makes a noise like a horn. You leave the creature. It howls a few more times, but is beginning to realize you are not afraid. A moment later, it scurries away out of the cave. The cave appears otherwise empty. This would be a dry, well-protected place to rest if it were nighttime, but it's too early to sleep. Then why the hell did I get it? You know what? No. We're going back. If it's just gonna be daytime, before we have a chance to sleep, then we're just gonna fucking sleep rough. You have not yet eaten today, but you have no rations to ease your hunger. You close your eyes and let your tiredness overtake you. You wake in the night to see a black shadow slipping into the gloom beside you. Who's there? The voice that replies is somewhere between a growl and a purr. Surely you know my footfall by now, Anolander. The shape slips down on the ground beside you. Why? Why are we describing... What's his face? Prowler? No, what is his name? I mean, I know your feet, I just don't know your name. Filcher? Backstabber? I can't remember his name. Why are we describing the weird assassin as in, like, sexy, growly tones now, actually? Is what I want to know. You make a space for him close by your side. It is a cold night here in the shadow of evil, the voice continues. But then I saw this glowing. The gloved hand of Flanker the assassin. Reach it. Flanker, thank you. I knew it wasn't, like, butt stab. Reaches into your pack and pulls out the orb containing the sun serpent. The creature lashes against the glass, hitting and hissing and spitting. I put this creature in this prison. I have not yet decided what to do with it. Kill it, Flanker suggests simply. It is an abomination. He squeaks a finger across the glass. I believe the creature knows me. Do you want it? Quite a gift. But no, I think not, he smiles. We will keep it as a lantern tonight. The darkness is thick with death here. I'm not afraid. I cannot know fear, Flanker replies. I am a dead man still alive. An assassin is not permitted to experience mercy. And yet here I am. I am glad of your company, and I of yours. The assassin is close enough for you to feel the movement as his powerful body relaxes. One of us will kill the Archmage. Perhaps, he answers softly. Certainly someone will die. He touches your shoulder briefly. Rest now. And so the night passes. But you know in the morning, he will be gone. I just, are we getting romantic with Flanker? Because, on one hand, sure. You were just wondering if he'd show up again. It has been, like, a whole book since he showed up, hasn't it? He wasn't in book 3. The Archmage is aware of you. Okay. You wake somewhat stiffly and stretch. The sun breaks over the horizon. The caves are unlikely to contain anything but nasty surprises, surely. Surely. Let's keep going. The steps are becoming wider as the path turns to follow the edge of a deep chasm. A little further on, a rock ledge juts out into the chasm. 2 posts stand on either side, with a narrow, rather ancient wooden bridge lashed to them. The bridge must be 100 years old at least. It is set into timber supports driven deep into fixtures out of sight below the ledge. Seems like it might still be solid. Time to continue. If the bridge is sound, it would get you quickly closer to the citadel. But do we want to do this quickly? Because that citadel is very imposing. But on the other hand, the Archmage knows we're coming. Let's risk the bridge. You step onto the foot of the narrow wooden bridge. It is no mean span. The chasm is twice as wide as the Jabaji River of Kare, at least. But the boards look intact enough, and better yet still, there is no sign of Vankus, the strange bridgekeeper you met earlier in your travels. Surely such a bridge is too good to be true. Your knuckles are white as you grip the ropes and pace out onto the bridge. As the ropes tighten, the boards move downward with every step, and it takes all your courage to take each step forward. Okay, do not fuck with the ropes, just keep moving. Standing still here is the worst option. If you're going to try to cross, you must be bold. Like a good barbecue sauce. You keep going, pacing board by board across the bridge. Then, without warning, one of the braided strands of the left-hand rope strays and snaps. The boards rock and sway violently, but the other ropes are holding for the moment. Run for it. There is nothing for it but to run. You lurch forward across the boards, and the pounding of your feet sends the bridge bouncing up and down sharply. Strand after strand of rope give way. You try to jump, but it is too late, and there is nothing to jump off from. Legs and arms waving maniacally in midair, there is only one way to go. You fall at high speed, the chasm walls rushing past. There's nothing to hold on to, nothing to slow you down, no large bird swoop to rescue you. When you hit the base of the ravine, the last noise you hear, you are here, is that of your spine shattering into 1,000 pieces. We died! We're 5 minutes into the book and we died! Amazing. Alright, this time, just keep running. You're too close to the far side to stop now. You keep going. Yep, that's gonna lead to falling too. I guess, being on the bridge is just a bad idea. What happens if we stop dead? There are mere moments left. Oh, we can survive this way. What if we grab the ropes? Snatching wildly, you grab a rope in either hand and catch yourself just as the bridge breaks in the middle. You swing hard into the chasm wall. Ow. From here, it is an easy climb up the ladder formed by the bound towards the bridge. Finally, you pull yourself up onto the edge of the cliff. For better or worse, you have crossed the ravine. Hell yeah. We died, but we lived. You are back on a firm rock path once more. The broken bridge dangles into space just a stride away, and its shattered boards litter the ravine floor. You breathe a sigh of relief. You must keep going. Let's see. Do we take the west or the east? West will lead us into a town, and maybe that will give us some food. Then again, maybe it'll get us caught and killed. Who knows? You follow the path as it curves around the slope of a collapsed mountain, picking your way over fallen stones and tumbled boulders. This was clearly a major road once, but it has long since fallen into ruin. The air stirs a little, still cold but fresh at least. There is no time to waste. You follow the trail around the mountainside. Finally, the road ends outside a ruined building. The path beyond the building is nothing but rock and ruin. You approach the door to the building. It is not locked, but the frame is warped, and now the door is stuck open by a mere crack. The building is 2 floors high, with a tiled roof that has partially fallen in. The main door is small and set between large bottle glass windows. This is clearly a grand house once. A metal bracket sticks out from the wall above the door. Perhaps it once held a sign. You peer through the crack into the dusty darkness beyond. The place is clearly long abandoned. You slip your fingers into the crack in the door and try to haul it open, but the door is firmly wedged between the bent frame and the earth below, and it will not shift so much as an inch. Alright, let's cast a spell. Let's let the sorcerer, the archmage, I'm sorry, know we're here. We can create wind. Maybe we can blow the door open. We'll huff and we'll puff and we'll blow your door down. You cast a spell, lifting the veil horn and blowing a loud note. A powerful wind gathers as you play the horn, but it serves only to slam the door more firmly shut. Wait, is this a pull door or a push door? Alright, let's rewind that, because, that doesn't seem helpful. Stop. Open locks and doors. You cast a spell, but the spell cannot seem to find purchase on the door. It seems the hinges have seized and rusted so badly. The spell no longer recognizes this opening as a door. I mean, we could use our sword to lever it open, but I feel like that would snap the sword. And I want this door open. No door should stand between us and I don't know, a meal or something. Oh, wow. That doesn't work at all. Pull the cast. Yeah, alright. You cast a spell, and 5 clones step out from behind you, forming a semicircle. You and your clones take a collective run backward, then charge toward the door. The old wood shudders on impact, but it does not shatter. You slip your fingers around the door frame and haul. With much scraping and huffing, the door slowly slides open. Dust and stale air drifts out of the dim interior of the building through the doorway. Which way now? Alright, 6 of us can do it. One by one, your clones vanish. You pick your way through the buckled door frame. Inside, you see a large room dotted with tables. Grass peeks up between the floorboards. The roof is collapsed in one corner, and ivy trails down the broken beam, settling on a long counter. You lean open the counter, but there is nothing there except a row of barrels, all split open long ago with an axe. There's a rack of bottles that still seem intact, however. This must have been an inn. It sits beside a well-trod road, so travelers must have come this way at some point. But it has long since fallen into disrepair. A mug sits on one table, its handle missing. Across the room, there is a cramped passageway. You look along the rack. Most of the bottles are wine or exotic ales, but one label catches your eye. Fire water! But the bottle is dry as bone, as are all the others. You make a quick search of the corners in the rubble pile, unearthing a moldering piece of paper and a few coins. The paper is flimsy with age, the writing faded. You only manage to make out a few lines. The beckoning finger welcomes you, sorcerer, to the last resting place before the fortress. A hot meal is 2 bronze pieces and comes with a cup of ale. Bread and cheese are 1 bronze piece. It seems unlikely the prices are still valid, however, and there are no beacons here to help you reveal the place. Just wanted to check in and say you're alive. I've seen your articles going up on the Damage Control blog. Hello, Tiger. Good to see you. Hunching over, you pick up the coins and examine them. They are of very thin bronze, green with age. On one side is a simple picture of a bird of prey, talons outstretched. On the other, there is a profile of a hook-nosed woman with a stern expression. There is writing along the edge of the portrait, but you do not recognize the language. Are they simply ancient or from a faraway land? But in your travels to the past, you have never seen a coin like this, or another portrait of this woman. Humbling to find out. I have no idea why that would be, but do you not imagine that people read the things you write? Because sometimes I don't. I mean, I don't think that people read the things I write most of the time. So, you know. You make your way down the hallway. It leads to several back rooms, but most have collapsed, and now only the nearest two are accessible. One is smaller, only containing a single bed. You look around the empty hall and discover a handle in the ground. A trapdoor, leading to some kind of cellar, perhaps? The back rooms are almost certainly mere wreck and ruin. Ooh. Oh. Someone I admire to tell me you read what I write. Well, that's neat. I hope the person you admire admires you back. I have no idea who it could be, though. The trapdoor groans as you open it, and the stench of mold wafts up. You descend the ladder, nearly falling as an old rung snaps beneath your foot. Light filters in through cracks in the ceiling. You peer around the gloom. The floor is dirt with mushrooms peeking through, and in the corner, a tree has managed to grow. It only reaches your chin, but you find a few small apples hanging from its branches. You're such an awesome and clever squirrel. I am awesome and clever. I am, honestly, I'm fantastic. I'm the best. Thank you, though. Brat. I am that, too. I am also that. Let's eat some apples. You grab a single healthy-looking apple from the tree and stow it in your pack. And I will never touch wild-grown mushrooms because I'm pretty sure I will die. So that would suck. What the hell? Let's check out the mushrooms. The mushrooms are scattered around the cellar, glistening in the dim light and glowing slightly. There's a large cluster in one corner, which you swap aside. Well, they're glowing. That means they're bioluminescent. That means they're biological, which must mean they're safe. That's logical, right? Mods! Obliterate this person! Stuff that nerd wrote. Alright, let's eat one. You break a corner off one of the mushrooms and pop it into your mouth. It does not taste very nice, especially with the flecks of dirt on it. The side effects are, however, almost immediate. Sparkling lights, flashing shadows, loud noises. Oh boy. Strange, shadowy creatures, bats perhaps, have removed the top of your head. One by one, they take out your memories, polish them, and organize them into a better pattern within your skull. Joke's on you, I'm into that. But that is not all. Yeah, but it's not welcome, and, thank you, Silver Star. You're humble and lovable. And lethal. All the things I like. Explosions are going off by your ears, making you jump from side to side. The explosions match the rhythm of your heartbeat almost, but not quite precisely. You remember your father, and the time he grew 20 legs and used some to pin you down while others fed you soup. A fat worm made of firecrackers seemed to be crawling out of one of your eyes and crossing the bridge of your nose into your other eye. It leaves a slime trail of pink fire in its wake. The dreams coalesce, an endless mountain path curls up between high cliffs. The cawing of eagles echoes overhead. The vision fades. My head hurts. Okay. How about we rewind and we don't eat the mushrooms this time? Just as a thought. Pick an apple. Climb back up. You go to the ladder to climb back, and only now notice the extent of the damage you did to the rungs on the way down. There is nothing to step on. You are stuck down here. Oh, boopy. Climb the walls? You feel over the walls, trying to climb out, but there are no holes, just crumbling dirt. But if you dig too hard, the building above will no doubt collapse on you. Pray for aid? You close your eyes and raise a prayer to the gorilla. You feel something grip your finger, but when you open your eye, there's nothing there. You rub your hands, finding the green metal ring once again. It seems important somehow. Green metal ring, huh? What do we use that for? We do not have a serpent ring. We have a green metal ring, and that is... A green ring, zip, enables you to teleport a short distance. Well, heck. I didn't realize we had that, actually. Zip. Looking to the stars, you craft the magic, trusting to luck as the ring of green metal on your finger begins to gleam like a serpent's eye. You close your eyes as your body is wrenched away, and a moment later, you reappear on the floor above once more. You sigh with relief to be out of the cellar. There are still the back rooms to explore. Yeah, you know, why don't we explore the back rooms? Not in like an SCP sort of way. The rotten wood of the large room yields to your touch. Brackish water seeps from the wood. In the room beyond are many beds, but they have been stacked upon the wall. A chest lies open, its lock smashed. You turn your attention to the chest for... It might be an SCP... Well, it might be. We still haven't really explained the time rewinding thing. And I don't know if we're going to. I don't know if it's in story or out of story. You turn your attention to the chest first, but find nothing beyond splinters and dirt inside. The lock was smashed open some time ago. It has rusted into its broken shape. Lying on your chest, you peer under the stack of beds. Straw spills out of the mattress onto the floor, and there is a pile of rags you think is a rat's nest. A bottle lies among the filth. Ooh, bottle. You grab the bottle from the brittle straw. Pulling it out into the light, you see it as a potion of fire water. What kind of incel's potions? Didn't that wizard guarding the game specifically send you back in time? That's true. He did. But he noted that every time we went back in time, it would cut a point off our stamina. That we had 20 at one time. Now we have 18. So... time magic is a thing, but it's supposed to drain you. And using the rewind command hasn't been draining us. It's... I don't know, it's complicated. Shrug. What did Firewater... What was Firewater for? Maybe your magic is more like the beacons. Maybe. Pep. Give the caster double or triple their normal strength. Interesting. Leave the room. Alright. At least 2 forms of in-world time manipulation. That's true. And the private room. Upon first glance through the doorway, the door at the back appears to be a private bedchamber. But as you enter, you see signs of violence. Unlike the larger dormitory, the furniture is smashed. Possessions lie scattered around. Half a mirror still hangs in a frame, and pieces of splintered wood litter the ground. You peer at the smashed furnishings, picking up the legs of a chair. It all seems somewhat deliberate. You cannot think of a scuffle that would produce such an effect as this. It looks rather as if someone attacked the furnishings directly. That says to me that this room is going to try to kill us. Let's leave. You slip back into the hallway, leaving the violated room unexplored. Yeah, I think we're leaving. You return to the front room of the ruined tavern. Where now? You step away from the tavern door once more. The only way is back. You return down the ruined path. Thin heat beats down from an empty sky. Suddenly you feel a wave of nausea. The ground beneath you shifts. The sun slides sideways. You open your pack, looking for something to use to help yourself, and then when you fall. The world rushes past you further than it should. You hear a woman's voice singing gently above the sound of lapping waves. What magic is this? Waves lull and wash toward the shore. You lie on a bed of stones, looking up at the bright sunlight. This is not high, Zaman. A feeling of dread creeps over you. What kind of trap is this? How far have you traveled? No! So you remember when I said that maybe if you die in this book, you get teleported back to the first book and they make you start over? That cannot have fucking happened. I will... I will, I will eat an entire house. What? You pick yourself to your feet, woozy as though you had been asleep for a long time. Greetings, murmurs a voice, warm and welcoming. We have traveled a long way together, you and I. Who are you? You call, turning your head but seeing nothing beyond the washing sea. I have many names, she replies, but none truly describe who I am. The sea washes at your boots as though inviting you to step forwards. I must go back. You shall, the voice assures you. You shall. A gentle wind tugs at your coat. You are standing on the shore of the Kakabad Sea, barely a half-day's walk from Analand. You step away from the water towards the mouth of a dim cave. Inside the stone drips salty tears. These tunnels must be flooded at high tide. The voice from the shoreline resumes its singing, content to wait for you to return. The cave walls are jagged and irregular, formed by lashing waves and the shifting rock of 1,000 years. Here and there, crystal seams wink from deep within the frozen stone folds. You push deeper into the cave, climbing over fallen stones, following the line of the deepest darkness up into the towering cliffside. Somewhere overhead are the low hills around Kantapani, and a short distance from that is your home. The woman's song echoes up the tunnel towards you. You climb higher still, upwards into the rock, when something in the distance begins to roar and moan. You are not alone in the darkness. You climb higher still, fingers slipping on the wet rock as a great wind begins to rush through the tunnel, gathering in strength and force that tries to push you back. Your fingers and feet slip out from under you on the stones. As you begin to fall, the stars reach down to catch you. What the hell what? You were back on the cliff path. Was that real? I think we were supposed to find out what was up with that woman. I feel like that's what we were supposed to do. Stand up. Where am I? These are the silent shores of Dadule, where gods sail. The sea washes at your boots as though inviting you to step forward. A gentle wind tugs at your coat, and as you follow it, you realize where you are. You crunch toward the shore. In the glinting water, a boat slowly rocks to and fro, and in the boat sits a woman with a loom. Who are you? I have many names, she replies, but one will do. So call me Libra. I am the goddess of justice. We have walked together for a long time, you and I. You kept your presence hidden? You reply. The woman is clearly a goddess, she nods. There are many times the warp serves only to support the west, she answers. Tell me what you want with me. I bring you here to deliver a warning. Our long road together has almost reached its end. Her voice is filled with sadness. I have kept you safe many times, saved you, but I can do no more. I know you do not understand, she continues, but you will soon enough. When you enter Mampeg, you will understand. The walls around that citadel are more than those of physical stone. It is a cursed place, guarded by sigils and long knives. You mean you cannot enter? You are right, but perhaps you do not understand the cost, Annalander. For as long as you have walked, I have walked beside you. I have granted you waking dreams, visions of your future, dreams from which you wake to walk a different... Oh, I think we just explained the time manipulation, y'all. I think we just explained that. And they're telling me that it does not work inside the city. Inside the city, there are no rewinds or do-overs. We're gonna have to fly by the skin of our pants and eat by the skin of our teeth and skin our pants and put them on our teeth as teeth pants. I don't know why we're doing that, but that's what we have to do. Visions? You remember no such thing. Waking dreams, the goddess replies, the kind that seems real, although till they disappear as though they had never been. She shoots the shuttle across her loom once more. But no more. Once inside the walls of Mampeg, your future will become precious once again. The word strikes a knell of fear into your heart. Precious. Unique. For a moment she bows her head. I can only hope you'll be fortunate. Tell me what you mean. You ask, bowing your head in respect. A weave can be made, and then unmade, and made again in different fashion. The final garment does not know how many times it was stitched, so it has been with your journey. She laughs. Or perhaps you consider yourself to have simply been lucky to survive so far. A large wave strikes the shore, and as it drains, the boat tilts and begins to drift away. The woman makes no move to stop it, merely continuing to weave. You steady yourself and watch as she drifts away. The thought of the long journey back to Mampang begins to sink into your mind. Let's go out into water. You wade out into the shallows. Perhaps there is a way to walk around the coast, but it seems hopeless. The sea stretches away southward, endless. Drawn by some unknown voice, you step further and further out. The wind is picking up, the waves are growing, water laps around your waist. As the water closes over your head, the stars reach down to catch you. Alright. You are back on the cliff path. Was that real? There is still a taste of salt in your mouth, but nothing more. You shake the vision away and look around yourself once more. Time to continue. Real or not, you must keep moving. So, once we reach here, this button goes away. That's... You know what? Fuck it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. You follow the path southward once more. The chasm yawns open on your right-hand side. The wind picks up as the evening draws on. It will be night soon. The broken rope bridge dangles down into the ravine here. You must keep going. You leave the bridge behind and make your way around the edge of the chasm. The sun is sinking. The sky is turning bruised purple. Soon it will be dark once more. The path splits here, sneaking around the edge of a mountain while a branch works its way downward. The ruins of a stone tower lie some way down the path. There are 3 ways to go from here. Well, we just came from this way, and this way goes down here. And I mean, I guess we could walk all the way down the path and try to come up this way, but I don't see why we would do that. The trail winds through the mountains. You follow it until a sight ahead makes you stop. Higher up the rocky cliff perches a strange structure, made of twigs, branches, and moss. The nest is perched on a ledge, and you realize it is much larger than you first thought. If you were to climb the rock face up to it, you could easily fit inside. Oh boy, a nest! Let's crawl in and see if we break an egg and get attacked by a giant bird. You climb up. Careful to hold on to your belongings as you scale the rock face. You scramble up the rocks and hoist yourself onto the ledge just outside the enormous nest. The nest is an intricate construction of twigs and branches, built into a natural cleft in the peak. The wind whips past a short distance away. Everything it can grasp has already been taken. On one side is a dark hole in the straw that might be large enough for you to crawl through. You crawl through the hole into the heart of the nest. The inside of the nest is a curious, bell-shaped chamber, open to the sky. The walls are of woven straw matted with feathers and scraps of fur. You look up through the narrow opening to the sky above, but see nothing. If the nest occupant is going to return, they have not returned yet. You poke around the nest, eventually coming across a cloth skull cap packed roughly into one of the walls. But as you weigh your find in your hands, you hear a shriek from behind you. You draw your sword as the talons rake down your back, leaving deep cuts. You roll away, dodging another slash. On your feet, you come face to face with the nest's owner, who has returned. But this is no bird. It's a bird man. Okay, let's fight the bird man. Let's fight Harvey here. I always like to charge in big. The Birdman charges across the nest, talons outstretched. You swing as heavily as you can in the narrow space, hoping to chop the creature in two, and you catch the bird with his wings spread wide. You strike the Birdman deep in his belly, and the creature howls at you in fury. The Birdman beats his strong wings and rises, gathering momentum for another strike. Let's go ahead and... Oh, nope. That time we took it. Next moment, the creature is plowing forward at you, as though intent on tearing you limb from limb. You try to cut across the Birdman's body, but he catches a swing of his talons and blocks you backward against a boulder. You fall. Yep, Harvey, named after the famous Harvey the Wonder Hamster. You drop into a crouch as the Birdman screams across the floor. You repel him with your blade, heaving with the effort. He climbs a little, gaining speed. You wait for the Birdman's winged arms to open, and then you strike. You wait, twist, and charge forward, striking the Birdman between wide-stretched wings. He tumbles backward. The Birdman opens his maw to cry, and his claws scrape the ground. You take advantage of the Birdman's anger to press forward. Swinging up from a low crouch, you aim for the beast's cold heart. The Birdman's own strike is easily overpowered. The creature screams in a blood-curdling tongue. So we block that. You fall back. The Birdman tries to swipe you with a careless strike of his talons, but you duck. You escape mostly unscathed. He clicks the long nails together once more. He is still determined to fight. I mean, I know what I would be yelling in my dark tongue. I would be yelling, "Ow! Fucking stop it!" An opening appears. You jump through the air, hoping to catch the creature. The Birdman screams as your blow sinks deep. The Birdman bellows a foul curse as his breath comes short and fast. The Birdman issues a bloody call and spreads his talon wide. The Birdman is getting tired of being referred to in third person. The Birdman wishes you to know his name is Harvey. Ow, shit. Then the Birdman is screaming in your face. Ah! You try to swing across the beast's chest, but he catches a stroke with bony arms and punches you with his wings. You can punch with wings? That's awesome. Alright, we got him. Suddenly you dive forward, you cut a side blow. The Birdman falls to the ground, feathers drifting from his body. Savage light in his eyes has gone dark. 8 stamina lost. We got the shit beat out of us. The Birdman bellows a foul curse, and you turn into a chicken. How do you know I haven't been a chicken this whole time? You look around the chamber with interest. It is all wrong. It is as though the Birdmen are not sure exactly how a proper nest should be made. This place is a weird hybrid, part nest and part straw hut. You crawl back out of the nest. Don't mock their culture. The sun is now sinking down. I was hoping we could sleep in there, but I guess we're not I guess we did that for nothing. You know what? If we're just gonna get nothing out of it, let's not go to the nest. It is a silly place. And it kills us, so... you know, because of the pom-pom above my head, it could be a decoy. I could be an anglerfish. You head down a slight incline. Mampeg looms into view once more. It is as though these mountain passes had been carved to ensure no one approaching could forget the citadel looming forever. Yeah, you know, like the deepest lore. I'm actually a rabbit with a fake tail and a fake palm. Don't tell anyone. I'm lying, of course. Or am I? I am. Or am I? I am. Oh, no, wait, no, forget it. At the bottom of the hill, you pause. Before you lie the deep crater. As though an entire mountain peak had been scooped away, you will have to find a way across. The sun is now sinking down. Oh boy, a crater. You climb over the ring of the crater, then you skid and slide several feet down the rough slope, firmly landing on what appears to be a path. The sun is almost set, and the sky is a deep pink. It will be dark soon. You are uninjured, but there is no way back up. A path leads down to the crater here, another leads north to south around the rim. There is no time to linger. Alright, do we go down the middle or around one of the edges? I'm actually not sure which way we ought to go on this one. There doesn't seem to be an immediate benefit to, any of the options. But there doesn't seem to be an immediate drawback either. Why only one ration? Do I need a lot or do I... Yeah, you generally need a lot of food. But I haven't been thinking rationally because I keep eating them. Obviously, I should have been conserving them, but instead I ate them. Curse my irrational behavior. Alright, let's hook a left. You follow the path around the edge of the crater bowl rather than going down into it. Looking ahead, the path continues to curve. There is some kind of hazy shape up ahead, barely visible through the thin smoke that hangs around the edge of the crater. You peer into the middle distance and make out a hut. It is no kind of shelter and seems to be open to the elements. A thin bell tower rises from its roof, bronze bell tilting a little in the wind. You must keep moving. You are too exposed up here. If there's one thing I don't want to do, it's expose myself. You approach the hut, squinting against the dust in the hopes of spotting any danger. It has wide windows and empty doorways, allowing the wind to whip right through. The wind gently swings the bell on the roof. What if people would be into that? Well, no. Don't make me start an OnlyFans or something. Alright, I'm gonna cast a spell. Let's sense danger. You bind the starlight into shape around you, and a familiar, calm voice begins to speak to you. There's nothing here, the voice remarks. Mampeg knows you are coming. Their scouts have been pulled back. Its message delivered. The spell fades. Well, if there's nothing here, let's head on in. You approach the hut and step inside. It is silent as a tomb. You search the corners of the hut thoroughly and uncover 2 vials of potion, wrapped in an oily cloth. Blimberry! There's also a wiry, green-haired wig near the mattress in the corner. One can only surmise what it's doing there. Hello, Jaffa! Hello, Car! Andrew Jackson Sorcery, that's right. Fighting the war of 18... Well, who the fuck was Andrew Jackson again? I think he was before 1812. March 1767 to June 8th, 1845. Okay, no. We're on 1812, baby. Let's go. We're to start an OnlyFans. I would expect your streams to have literally OnlyFans in them. A video feed showing only Japanese folding fans hanging on the wall. I am way too cheap for, like, authentic Japanese folding fans. I got, like, an oscillating fan over in the corner. That's what you get. Maybe after I get some maybe after I scrape in some of that rich fan... I can't even say fanboy or fangirl, because some of y'all are, like, non-binary. After I scrape in that rich fan money, maybe then I would be able to, I have no idea what I would... That rich fan thought money. You put the wig into your pack, stuffing the loose threads down to tidy them away. Fan creature. I kind of like fan thought. You slip quickly out of the hut once more. Okay, we got a wig. We snatched their wig. That means something. I guess. You leave the hut and follow the path in the direction of Manpeg. Night has fallen. You should find somewhere safe to sleep. For if you keep going through the night, you will be weaker for it, especially on an empty stomach. You would do well to find somewhere safe to rest. Let's sleep in the guard hut. Can we do that? No. Dang. Because I think that would have been really funny. But apparently we're not allowed to do that. Sucks. You follow the path all the way around the crater to the far side. An open path leads forward and up. The skylight is suddenly dominated by the looming specter of Mampang. Spellbound by its presence, your eyes follow the lines of the citadel's walls. Gnarled spires twist upward toward the sky as if in agonized prayer to the heaven. Sharp angles and jagged points protrude everywhere. Demonic gargoyles line the outside walls. Despite shivering at the sight of the citadel, you find yourself compelled to step forward. Still, perhaps it would be best to approach it well rested, and you cannot sleep here. Alright, well, let's step down into the crater for a second, then. You scramble back down the ridge. The moon sets. More stars appear. The trail passes a deep crack in the rock, which extends southward, growing deeper and wider. Smoke issues upwards. The fissure is like a deep wound in the ground of the crater, as though the earth had shrunk and cracked apart. There is no way across the fissure, but the path leads in either direction past it. Let's try this ruined building. You follow the trail, coming across a low stone building. It is the middle of the night. You put your hand on the frame as you step through the listing doorway. You enter the crumbling building. It is missing its roof, so you are exposed to the sky. You eat the apple and immediately feel better for it. Laying your pack down, you try to settle despite the cold. At least you have eaten once already today, so you do not need to eat again to avoid hunger. Though more food will make you stronger. You know, that's how I've always lived my life. More food makes me stronger. You lie back and try to forget your troubles. You feel quite safe here, and you do not dream. You descended into the Argbad crater. God. What should we name our, like, evil crater? Argbad. Thanks, Joss Whedon. I met Libra, the goddess of justice, and the long peace. The Archmage is aware of you. You wake, well slept, if slightly covered with the dust that blows across the crater. You get to your feet. With great care, you search the rest of the room, but find nothing of interest. The building is quite empty. Carved on one wall is what appears to be a scratched message. Third, that the throbbing doors is L of Invis. The throbbing doors? I'm throbbing bed bear. Are you my mommy? There's nothing more here to find. You slip outside the aged building and back into the light. Alright, let's head on up and hit Mampeg. There's an unshakable gloom about this place. A few birds are singing thin and miserable songs. I know I've let you down. I've been a fool to myself. You are back by the top end of the fissure. Okay, up, out. To the Citadel. You clamber up the far slope of the crater until you are on the main road once more. The air moves a little around you, still icy but fresh. You creep forward into the narrow rock path. This is the only corridor to Mampang. There is no other way. Alright. I like the looks of this side door here. I don't think we're... I feel like it would be a really, 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 really fantastically dumb move to just walk up to the gates and go, hello, I'm here to kill the Archmage. Could you show me to his bedroom? Or we could walk all the way around and apparently leave the map. But I don't think that would be well received. You make your way forward slowly as the narrow walls close in on either side. A very easy option walking in like that. Well, shit. Now I kind of want to do it. The path lies open. There are no obvious traps and no way around. The only way is forward. You move cautiously along the path. It is barely wide enough for two horses to ride abreast. But the walls on either side loom high and threatening. Starlight pools around you. There is magic here. Looking ahead, you see an arrow sticking out of the ground. Looking upward, you see the cliff edges look smoother somehow, as though loose rocks have been moved away from the cliff edge. Let's make a shield, if we can do that. I think that would be a good idea. Cause sleepiness. We don't have that. Create a stench. We could make it smell really bad in here. That doesn't seem useful. Cause speed. We don't really have that. Create a force field. That's 3 stamina. Invisibility. Cause sheepiness? I would cast that spell every day of my life. Read minds requires a skull cap, but we didn't go into the Birdman's nest. I feel like maybe we should have then. Oh, is it too late to go back? Oh well. Yeah, I don't think we've got anything that... Cause teleportation. Let's try that. You weave the enchantment, and the ring of green metal on your finger begins to glow and glitter. You are suddenly torn through the very air. Where are we going? You reappear a few feet further on. The end of the path is almost in sight. Thin shadows stretch along the high rock walls. You press on. A voice hisses from above. Down there! Looking up, you see a guard holding a taut bow. A moment later, the arrow is flying and it pierces your shoulder. You spin around, struggling to stay upright. You dodge another volley, yanking out the arrow as you run. By dread! Guard tries, didn't kill her. Knocks another arrow as other guards arrive. The path is a trap, of course it is. And the guards have a clear line of sight. We can outrun arrows. You race down the path, but then you hear a small whistle and an arrow strikes you in the back. It pierces you through your chest, inches from your heart. You stumble, gulping in great gas as the arrow shifts inside your body. You are now in clear view, and the arrow in your body is slowing you down. Well, if the arrow is slowing me down, let's rip it out. You throw yourself against the rock wall, then grip the arrow with both hands and pull it out. It is an agonizing process, and every inch of movement drenches you in sweat. Finally, you manage to patch up the wound before collapsing near the end of the pass. The sun is blistering hot. Everything goes black. Alright. It looks like that loss of 3 points for a force field might actually be worth it. And we've been told by a goddess that she's going to stop helping us once we get in there. So let's abuse this as much as we can before we do. You cast a spell, forming a shimmering force field around your body. You should be protected from all but the most serious injury now. Alright, press on. A voice hisses from above. You see a guard holding a taut bow. The arrow is loosed a moment later, but bounces off your force field, the life-saving magic shivering at the below. By dread, some kind of magic! It is as if she is a sorcerer. Run. You race down the path, but then you hear a small whistle and an arrow strikes you in the back. There is a cracking sound as your force field shudders from the impact. It disappears, but you are safely clear of the path. You follow the path between sharp peaks. With a pop, your force field shimmers out of existence. Again. Twice in a row. A few clouds move across the heavens. Then the path opens and provides you with your first clear view of the Citadel's gate. After 20 days of walking in hardship, you have arrived. Mampang! It's kind of a dump! Even from here, you can see flocks of birdmen circling the towers, watching the ground below. The path ahead is lined with guards. The Citadel is clearly on high alert. The Serpent's message has got through, it seems. A few carts rumble up the road from the east toward the main gate. You waste no time contemplating the fortress and instead scan the area for entry points. Looking east, a road appears from distant lands. Heading that way would mean leaving the Citadel behind. Following the wall with your eyes, you see a path following the stone wall to keep westward. There may be another entrance that way. The road from the east ends at the main gate. It is bound in strips of iron and taller than most trees. Carts approach the gate in orderly fashion. Most are searched, emptied, and turned quickly around. A few are allowed into the yard. Guards armed with bows stand ready to cut down any unwelcome visitors. Time to make your choice, then. Carts, huh? You search the carts carefully. Each is laden with goods. The guards inspect them fairly cursorily, patting down their contents before waving them through. You know, that could, we could pull the old hide in the trunk trick. You fall in behind a merchant's cart and unnoticed. Flip up the tarpaulin that covers the back. You have plenty of time to jump inside. The guards are quizzing each merchant and examining their stock as they reach the gate. There is a crunch. As you settle down inside, you have sat on a group of very large eggs. In fact, the whole cart is full of them. That's the second time this book. What is it with my butt and eggs? You know what? Don't answer that. Definitely don't answer that. The cart rumbles slowly down the rough road. Ooh, can we cast a spell? Why, we can. What can we cast? We can cast Yob to summon a giant. I don't think that would help. We can cause invisibility, but we can't actually do that because we don't have the right stuff. We could make another force field. We could make ourselves smell really bad. We could pretend to be a cart full of rotten eggs. Everybody loves rotten eggs. Rotten eggs are welcome wherever they go. Sense danger. We could. Sob. Unknown. Can we cast this? You are missing an item it needs, so the spell dissipates around you. Okay. I mean, you gotta experiment. You have to, you know? Let's just, cause depression. You weave the enchantment and immediately feel yourself losing your energy and drive. With no other creatures nearby, the magic is turned on you. Every day of my life. You wait under the tarp, careful not to move or disturb it. Alright. We're depressed now. The cart trundles forward, then stops again. You hear a guard's boots crunching near. What do you got? You hear the guard ask. The virtuous voice is reedy. Basilisk egg, sir, for the Archmage's table, I am told. There is nothing you can do but wait. You might as well just give yourself up. That's so, the guard replies. Let me have a look. Then light spills in as the guard pulls away the tarp to reveal some smashed eggs and you. Typical. He bellows in surprise as you clamber down from the cart. The guard reaches for his sword as a crowd of his companions rush over. You are severely outnumbered. That's wonderful. We made the narrator depressed. I gotta fucking rewind. I'm sorry. That is hilarious, but no. We made the narrator depressed. God. Back a little more. Mampang! It's a hole! Right, main gate, side entrance. Let's just take action, watch the carts. Hide in a cart. Jump in. Okay, this time let's wait until we're closer to try to cast a spell. You know what? I have to. Let's cast the Rotten Egg spell. I think it would be very funny. We're gonna cast, like, poo. No, that's force field. No, that's wrong. I don't remember what it actually is. No. Yeah. Sniff. You grab your nose plugs and stick them into your nostrils before casting the spell. A terrible odor begins to blossom from your sleeves in a choking cloud. The cloud of stench stays trapped under the tarpaulin. Your trap is set. Now you wait. Oh, I'm setting a trap. That's smart of me. I didn't know I was doing that. The cart trundles forward, then stops again. You hear a guard's boots crunching near. What have you got? You hear the guard ask. Basilisk egg, sir. That's so. Let me have a look. A corner of the tarpaulin lifts, letting in a little light and letting out the smell. The guard staggers back, coughing and choking. What by Gred's nipples? He splutters. Basilisk eggs, the merchant replies, as if talking to a child. They smell terrible when they go bad. You wait in tense silence. Fine, replies the guard between coughs and chokes. Get on with ya, but don't open that tarp again. By Grab Thor's hammer and Gred's nipples. Gred is really kinky. The cart rattles forward to the gate of Mampeg, and then inside. Alright, we're about to lose it if I'm... There is a thundering echo for a moment as the cart passes through the tight doorway. Then it emerges into the relative quiet of Mampang's main yard. You slip out of the cart into the yard. The shadow of Mampang falls over you like a cloak. It is as though the sun itself is dimmed and you suddenly feel more cold and alone than ever before. But you have no choice but to continue. A voice in your head whispers good luck before fading into the murmur of waves. You have entered the Citadel of Mampang. Here no decision can be rewound. Well, who's ready to fuck up? Who's ready to fuck up super hard? As the morning moves on, the wind begins to rise. It is immediately clear this was once a grand entranceway. The remains of tall statues like those on the southern shore of Lake Iglaka line the road on either side, but their welcoming expressions have worn smooth, and their bodies have sheared. Count the statues? There are 4 statues on one side of the path and 4 on the other. Okay. Each stands, or stood, twice your height, and their arms are all outstretched at different angles and orientations. They are clearly in the act of casting magic, but which spell East is casting is all but impossible to tell. Many have lost their arms, and many more their fingers, and most of the pursed, whispering mouths have crumbled to powder. We could approach a statue. Statue nearest the gate is reasonably intact. Going over to it, you can make out a portion of a ruined inscription at its base. Do. A statue opposite also has a carving at its base. You cross the other side of the path and squat down, making out the letters Ought. Okay. So that would be, Dock and Hot. That's telling me the counter spells. Read the carvings on the other statues. The next statue across the gate is broken at the waist and carved with Sa at its base. It stands opposite another whose carving reads, okay. Alright, Fa... I know we got that. Fall counters rock. Look for more. You search the other statues for any more readable carvings. One is missing entirely. Another 2 have been firmly destroyed, leaving only the last statue in line, which stands tall, arms raised upward. It holds a stone vial suspended in one fist, and has a skull beneath its foot. A stone vial upended. Could be mud? Mud might counter something. Could be... Well, I want to say it could be rock, which requires stone dust, but that doesn't seem right. It could be nip. It could be, holy water. It could be res for holy water. Ooh, we'll bring this corpse back to life. Okay. This is it. Res counters something. I don't know what. But res is a counter spell. I think we should keep that in mind. Look opposite. Opposite the statue lies nothing but an empty plinth. Carved at its foot are 3 characters overgrown with moss. You pull the clumps of moss away free to reveal the name of the spell. Zed. You cannot hold back a shiver. This truly is the fortress of sorcerers, a place where the weirdest spell of all is not hidden away, but displayed in the main yard. Perhaps someone here even knows what the spell does. You hurry away from the statues, feeling as though they are watching you. So, resurrect brings the corpse back to life. What does Zed do? It was cast by a necromancer. If Rez brings the dead back to life, maybe Zed kills the living? Caused genocide? I don't know, maybe it's a curse. Some kind. It's hard to know. Let's keep moving. You stride further into the bustling yard, expecting the birdmen to swoop in on you at any moment. As the sun climbs the sky, the winds begin to rise. The square is busy with traders and their porters, carrying goods from the gate to the high inner wall where the rack of pulleys and ropes is in constant operation. Strangely, there is no door in the wall into the city. You watch the crews on top of the tall walls, working the pulleys on top of the wall, transferring goods to the city inside. Perhaps there is a way to use them, but you cannot see one. There are scores of people working on every rope, and nowhere to hide. Most of the merchants are stopped at the gate, but a few are allowed to drive their carts all the way up to the far wall. Here their goods are unloaded, strapped to ropes, and hoisted over the wall, presumably into the citadel proper. Gold coins are shuttled back again. It seems remarkably elaborate. Misread that as crow. You watch the crows on top of the wall working the pulleys. You know, I would like that. Can we risk talking to a merchant? I don't know. Doors are set into the wall on either side of the yard. To the east, rich smells come from a noisy kitchen. To the west are a series of rooms through which guards occasionally walk. You need to find a way through, over, or under the wall. Alright, maybe in the kitchen we can sneak down into the sewers and work our way underneath the citadel. Opening the door a crack, you see a riot of activity and heat. Goblins rush between fires and low tables, carrying heaps of food and pots of water. An enormous hobgoblin stands at the front of the room, shouting orders and waving a cleaver above its head. There might be some useful information to be overheard here. Goblins, huh? I think we turn back. Alright, let's try the other side. You enter the shade of the barracks. The barracks are reasonably quiet. Most of the guards must be out on patrol. Murmuring voices reach your ears from somewhere close by. Alright, hide and stew. Wait. Shout surprise, eat self. I would be very surprised if I ate myself. You hurry along the corridor. A powerful smell emerges from a smaller door on one side of the corridor. On the other side is what looks like a dormitory. Oh, let's smell it. Nothing bad ever came of this. You take a deep breath and then cough violently as you place the smell. The small door is a latrine, and the smell coming from it is truly foul. You could go either way down the corridor, but lingering would be a bad move. I know I just joked about sneaking in through the sewer system, but can we not? Let's not. Let's head into the room where the guards are. You enter the room on the north side of the corridor. Cots line the wall. At the foot of each cot is a small chest. There is also a table in one corner, piled with papers and scraps of food. Ooh, food. You shuffle the papers on top, finding little of interest. Letters to villagers Nildenheim and Zaman, and a score-keeping sheet for a dice game that must have been quite heated because it is splattered with blood. Beneath that is a missive directing guards to kill on sight a weary-looking woman wielding a broadsword. Okay. You flip open a few of the chests and rifle through them. Nampeg's guards are a downtrodden lot to go by their meager possessions. The first few chests you open are entirely empty. Most likely the prospect of hot meals will be enough for many guards to sign up, and the threat of violence would convince the rest. You cast a quick look over your shoulder. A guard might appear any moment. Time to move on. Let's get in back. You step through the doorway into a small dressing area. Benches line the walls under racks of hooks. You paw through the cloaks, finding parts of uniforms. A hat here, a cloak there, a piece of shoulder armor. Nothing you could use as a full disguise. Pinned to the wall, though, there is the shift rotation, scrawled in a rough hand. The list of names is large, nearly the size of a town's entire guard assigned to the main gate in the side yard. Several groups are down to patrol the passes and the crater, while others patrol the outside walls. Just as you had suspected, none of the guards seemed due to go inside the inner wall. You kneel down to look under the benches, finding a few old buttons and bits of ancient fluff. You return to the main dormitory. Ooh, fluff! We'll need that for the endgame. Alright. You step back into the main dormitory room. Suddenly you are sent sprawling by a blow from behind. You roll sideways on instinct, expecting another blow to crash down where you fell, but it seems your attacker is still only half awake. I don't know who you are, he yawns, but no one steals from the outer yard guard's room. You've made a mistake, you begin. Not me, the guard replies, booting you in the stomach. Get up, worm. Alright, let's put him back to sleep. What is it, like nap? Requires a brass pendulum, dang it. Fluffy, 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 fluffy. Kneel before Jod. No. Pause fear, we don't have a face mask. Aw, man. We don't have anything good. We're in trouble. We have nothing of worth in the spell department. Yeah, we can't do that, we can't do that, we can't... We can't be invisible. We can't make him dance a little jig. We can't make him jack off. What's even the point? In a fist fight, damage is lower and power refreshes more quickly. I aim to teach you a lesson, the guard says, balling up his fists and shaking the sleep from his eyes. You throw a haymaker at his temple. He keeps his fists high. The guard grins with pleasure at escaping unharmed. The guard tries not to trip on his nightshirt as you back away. The guard steps back. You set your stance. You leap forward, hitting him in the temple with an overhand right. He lifts his guard to cover himself. The guard breathes with relief, still in one piece. He shuffles sideways. You maintain the momentum, you shove him into the wall. The guard can do nothing to stop you. The guard stops to spit blood on the ground. Come where I can reach you, he growls. You circle away from the guard, he outpaces you, placing blows at your body. You keep your arms tight, but some slip through. He feints left. You need to finish this quickly before others wake. You stomp on his foot, then elbow his jaw as he stumbles back. He ducks quickly to one side. The guard rubs his eyes ruefully. Arm ruefully. He feints low. You launch at him again. You launch a heavy punch for his throat. You land a punch right on his nose, and he careens in the table. He does not stir. With the guard out cold, you haul his body onto one of the cots. You leave the guard to sleep off his bruises. You open a few more chests. In one, you find a small pouch of gold. In another, you find what is a more valuable prize. A complete guard uniform. The size looks right. You gather up the guard uniform and quickly pull it on. You will now pass as a guard. The fit is loose, but your face is well enough worn to give you the right look. The uniform should make for an effective disguise. You will now pass for a guard in Mampeg, although the truly sharp-eyed might yet tell the difference. Best keep moving. I do not want to go into the latrine. You stride confidently down the corridor, relying on your disguise to keep you out of trouble. The closed door leads south. Let's head out into the yard. The wind picks up as the evening draws on, soon it will be dark once more. This is nothing but a small enclosure between the barracks and a small outer gate. It's most likely used for training exercises and the like. A brazier in the middle of the yard is dark. A brazier? No, I don't think so. The side entrance was perhaps designed for the servants and lower classes, who once served the sorcerers of the Citadel, and it's clearly long since fallen into heavy disuse. Stack of crates rocks in one corner, leaning over a heavy inner door that perhaps has not been opened in hundreds of years. The crates have been discarded over many years, with those at the bottom rotten to a putrescent pulp, while those at the top are more or less intact. They rise up almost to the level of the inner wall. Ooh. Can we get over this wall? You make your way to the stack of crates. They form a rough tower almost as high as the inner wall, but the wood is rotting and soft to the touch. You regard the stack this way and that for a few moments before settling on a first foothold. The stack shakes, but does not collapse. But you're only halfway up when a guard appears from the door on the southeast wall. He wastes no time in questions. "Archers!" he bellows. "To me!" You have mere moments. You open your arms to cast a spell, which means letting go of the crates. The rotten wood beneath your feet gives way as you do so, and you slither to ground level. Then the side door opens, and a pair of bowmen appears, arrows drawn back and aimed at your back. "Now then, give yourself up." Let's run for it. You turn to run and hear the whiz, as an expert arrow passes just clear of your shoulder, nicking your ear as it goes. You keep your hands high and step forward. It is as good a way inside the walls as any. Okay. You are dragged over to the edge of the side yard by the guards. The mountain slopes away out of sight. Wind whistles far below. You look up to the heavens, hoping for magic to save you. With your arms bound, you cannot cast a spell. The guards are discussing among themselves, in worried voices, what to do with you. "Free me," you murmur, "and I will make you both very rich indeed." "Not much use being rich when you're skinned," the first guard replies straightforwardly. "They certainly kill traitorous guards, don't they?" "Oh, yes," the other replies. "Have to, really." The first nods in agreement. "We can't just kill her, can we?" murmurs one of the guards fearfully. "Just like that?" "If this truly is the Analander," the other replies, "then we must." You open your mouth to plead for your life, but the first guard punches you in the head with their dagger hilt, sending you reeling. "What was I gonna say?" he continues. "Oh, yes." The dagger goes back into its sheath. How should we do it?" the first guard asks. "Oh, just a straight stab?" "You're not afraid to use your sword, are you?" the other goads. You struggle against your bonds, with no great success. The second guard kicks you head to the back of your knees, and you collapse in the dirt. "Maybe we could give her a chance. Not too big a chance, just a little chance." "Give me a chance," you agree. "That's a good idea." "No one's asking you." The second guard snaps. The first guard thinks and clicks his fingers. "I know," he declares. "We'll chuck her over the wall. If she falls, she falls. If she flies, she flies. She doesn't have any wings." The first guard nods. "All right," the second guard agrees. They begin to haul you to a slumped section of wall that looks over the chasm beyond. "You'll have to free my wrists. I can't fly with my hands bound." The guards consider this, then nod. "Fair enough." One slices through the bonds on your hands, and the other kicks you in the stomach, sending you reeling backward. You topple over the edge of the precipice beyond. You are falling off the side of the mountain of Mampeg to certain death. Surely we have something. Okay, let's try teleportation. You weave the enchantment, and the ring of green metal on your finger begins to glow and glitter. You're suddenly torn through the very air. A moment later, you reappear behind the guilt-stricken guards. They have not seen you. "She fell faster than I expected," you hear one remark. You hurry quickly away into the barracks before the guards turn and notice you. Okay. Let's go back out and check out the wall again. We have the stupidest adventures, you guys. We have the stupidest adventures. You know, let's actually check out this room. You slip into the room. It is some kind of meeting room for the guards. No one is here, and the room is dark. At the far end of the room is a spiral staircase. They spiral up to a turret. A guard post, most likely. You search around the room quickly, but find little of interest. The guards clearly have few personal possessions. You curl up under the table and try to rest your head. You have eaten nothing today, but you have no provisions, only 2 vials of blimberry juice. Unstopping a vial of blimberry juice, you gulp down a mouthful. You feel a little better, and all traces of hunger are soon gone. Then you get comfortable and rest. What is little of the night is filled with visions. You feel a hot wind gathering around your body. You are lifted into the biting air and pulled across the citadel. A dark, brooding shadow awaits at the end of your flight that grows larger and larger with every passing moment. Ah, comes a voice, cracked with age and hollowed by soulless laughter. There you are. You stand on an open balcony with a view across endless frozen wastes. A figure stands before you and turns to greet you. He is the only color picture in this book. Finally, breathes the Archmage of Mampang. I have been trying to reach you for so long. We need to talk about your car's extended warranty. In his hand is a brass pendulum and a crown. Give me the crown of kings. Ha! He laughs, a good jest. That would be a fine thing, wouldn't it, hand it over like that? He shakes his head. Sadly, however, you are not here. I have simply summoned your dreaming eye to my presence, like an obedient dog. But you see me as I am. I have the crown. Belongs to the king of Analand. Now, I'm sure you know what the crown does, the Archmage responds calmly. No one will take it from me, not least some ill-equipped, half-starved sorcerer novice who survived the Backlams. Made rather a mess of them, too, he observes. He sighs and turns the crown in his hand this way and that. It is beautiful, though, is it not? Worth dying for? Worth fighting for? A cobra does not give his prey the opportunity to fight, the Archmage hits his back. For a moment, you feel the mountains underneath you shiver and twist. Clearly, whatever spell being cast here is beginning to fade away. Did you have a message for me? You demand. I do. He fixes you with eyes as empty as smoked glass. I am the greatest seer that has ever lived. I have explored every possibility, and I know something to be true. If you come to Mampeg, you will die. Then let me come. Very well, then, he nods and bows. You are welcome to come and die in my great house. Then his smile becomes a scowl. Only wipe your boots. And with a flick of the wrist, you are dismissed, tossed like a stone back across the mountains, a mocking laugh ringing in your ears. You gained some gold, entered the Citadel of Mampeg, visited the barracks, disguised yourself as a guard, and found 5 new clues. The Archmage is still aware of you. You get to your feet just as 2 guards enter the room mid-argument. Their leader, a woman, points a knife at you. Her eyes flick across your disguise. What are you doing here? This isn't your barracks. I need to get into the city. The guards look between each other. If you've been posted this side, then you're on this side. I was carried here by birdmen. Is that so? The guard snaps back keenly. What kind of birdman? Seemed a strange kind to me. You've seen one of the Samartarians, the guard cries. Now they're going after us. I told you they're trouble. The birdman's still here outside the barracks. The guards move faster than you might have thought possible, pushing past you for the door. You have scared them effectively and are left on your own. You turn for the door. Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here. Okay. You step from the barracks into the main yard. The air stirs a little, still cold but fresh. Goods are being shuttled over the far wall. Alright, we've got to figure out a way to get over the wall. And I guess it will involve the kitchen, perhaps. You can't just cancel the Archmage's warranty. You swing open the door, trying to look like you belong. No one pays you any attention. The large hobgoblin burps as he stirs the soup. You continue to stride across the room and walk straight into something. Hey, watch it! You look down to see a squat goblin rubbing his foot. We are dressed as a guard. Get out of my way. The guard bristles. Me out of your way. I like that when you stepped on my foot. At the complaint, the head chef looks up. What's the commotion over there? You wither a bit under the head chef's hard stare. You cannot help but notice most of the goblins in the room are carrying cleavers or knives or skewers. If you run, you will most likely be jumped on immediately. Push over a pot of soup. Alright, let's be dicks. You need a distraction, so you grab a nearby pot of soup and hurl it at the hobgoblin before turning and bolting for the nearest door. He cries out in pain. Grab her! One goblin leaps, clutching your back. You keep running, the creature scratching and biting uselessly at your neck. Then 10 crawl all over you and you fall. They swarm over your body, biting, kicking, pinning your limbs. The head chef stands over you, glowering. Should chop you up and cook you, he grumbles. Apologize. I apologize for disrupting your kitchen. You should do more than apologize. You should contribute something. We'll have a leg. The hobgoblin cook stares at you, then bursts into laughter. He waves at the goblins holding you to let go. What are you doing here? Why you burst into my kitchen anyway? The guards outside need food. And what did you think I was doing before you interrupted me? Shouting. At your calm reply, the head chef explodes with fury once again. He rants, calling you a Philistine, and bemoaning those who shackle his brilliance. He is soon red and puffing with the effort. You nod along to his raving, trying to plot your escape. Oh, so you are the new assistant then. Why didn't you say so? You frown, puzzled. You must have nodded at the wrong time. You nod again. Better to make soup than end up in it. The guard is already turning around. Go see Silk, he says, picking up a head of lettuce. She'll get you started. With that, he turns away. You make your way around to the counter where the hobgoblin, pointed out, is trying to lift a bag of potatoes that is almost her size. She collapses under the weight, but scrambles out from under the bag when she sees you. She is gigantic for a goblin, but still a head shorter than you. Her apron is mostly stains, dirt, and a few threadbare ruffles. You wait impatiently as she gets back to her feet. Silk, she announces. And you realize, with a sickening feeling, she is vainly trying to tidy the thick mound of greasy hair on her head as she speaks. You greet her and explain you are the new assistant. Silk is clearly impressed. Finally, we have someone who can reach the top shelf. But before you start, there are a few rules. Take it till you make soup? Yes, chef. What rules? First, never annoy the head chef. Second, don't drop anything. Third, don't go in the larder. The hobgoblin cook is very paranoid about that. He's convinced there are spies everywhere, trying to steal his recipes. Frankly, I'm surprised he didn't skin you the moment you walked in. She blushes at some unknown thought. Skin me? He likes to take the skin off before cooking anything, he explains. He wraps the raw skin on the meat afterwards. It's a signature. Ugh. Silk looks at you sideways, then reaches out a tentative hand to touch yours. Mrs. Robinson, are you trying to seduce me? You stay still, and her cold, greasy goblin flesh settles on your arm. I'm so glad you're here, she says, suddenly talking in a rush, and we need to get this soup made, yes. We feed all the guards in the yard, so we're always busy. You chop those vegetables, get it simmering. I need to go grab some roach pig meat. I'll be right back. You can start the cooking, can't you? I need instruction. She looks down on the floor. All right, I suppose you need to know what the hobgoblin wants, but you'll learn quick enough. Helps when your life depends on it. I'll be back in a moment. You get started on the vegetables. She hurries quickly away, tripping over something as she goes. Before you is a chopping board heaped with vegetables, onions, turnips, potatoes, and a few purple orbs you don't recognize. Eggplant? Aubergine? You will need a knife. You go over to the knife rack and pull out a blade. Two goblins across the kitchen are talking in low voices. Archmage, one replies. It's a bit of wood the guards prop against the tower window. The other goblin laughs. Then you head back to the counter. Silk steers with a quick glance and flashes a crooked smile. Why am I doing this? You examine the vegetables. Several are rotten. It's a bit of wood, the second goblin whispers. How do you explain the birdmen? They're not natural. You attack the pile carelessly, the dull blade sinking into some of the more rotten vegetables. You end up with a haphazard pile of chunks and goop. Silk wanders past, carrying a tray of overbaked bread. Stick 'em in a pot. Once they're boiled, no one will care what they look like now. She offers a quick, nervous smile, then is gone on another errand across the room. Nampang loves you more than you will know. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Goo goo gajoo, Mrs. Robinson. Do you know what goo goo gajoo means? 'Cause I don't. Next, you head to the rack, where a random assortment of pots and pans hang from nasty-looking hooks. Most are dented or cracked, and some have holes rusted in the bottom. Okay, we're making this for the guards. So, I think we want to give them food poisoning so that they will poop themselves and abandon the wall. So let's take the rusty pot. You grab a pot caked with rust. Large red flakes sit on the bottom. Perhaps they will add some flavor. You lift up your pot and head over to the stove. It adds iron. Irony. Returning to the stove, you fill the pot with your mangled vegetables. You add the cleanest water you can find, which isn't very clean, and place it over the fire. I'm told the birdmen are breeding, a third goblin hisses at the first two. I've heard they had a nest. You stir carefully, allowing yourself to relax for a moment as you take in the aroma. It is an oddly calming moment. But then your reverie is broken by Silk returning and dumping roach pig meat into the mix. Hot water splashes up. She looks disappointed. Well, it's soup, I suppose, she says. We should add some flavor. The spices are over there. She hurries away once more. The spices are kept in boxes in the back of the room. All the herbs are from Zaman, and you don't recognize a single one. You pull a jar off the shelf that lacks a label. It'll do. You go back to the pot and pour the vial in. You stir the broth. Rather interesting smells rise up from the surface. At Filk's insistence, the head chef comes over to sniff the pot. Not bad, he grumbles. What's in it? Roach pig? The hobgoblin nods. Good, I'm glad someone around here cares about cooking. No one around here appreciates good ingredients like me. I am Throg, the most careful chef in Manpeg. He takes a spoon and sips it carefully, then he spits it out. You cretin, he roars. It's terrible. Is that rust? Philistine, lump, don't. He grabs you by the neck and shakes you like a dog. Silk has slunk away. If you're not going to cook, we'll use you as meat. Someone find a pot that'll fit her. Alp. I was hoping to poison the guards. Goblins come at you from all directions. Two are bringing a pot. You plead with them, but it does no good. The mass of goblins around you is overwhelming. One clunks you on the head with a soup pot, dazing you. Throg roars above the chuas. The choas. The chaos, I think, but... Leave her armor on. It'll keep the meat juicy and tender. The goblins dump you into the pot with a shower of vegetables. One dumps gravy all over your head before clamping down a heavy lid. Can we cast a spell? Like a spell that's like, don't fucking cook me. Getting big solves all our problems. Consulting the constellations above, you bind the spell. For a moment it seems nothing will happen, then suddenly you begin to grow to 3 times your normal size. You begin to grow and grow, squeezing against the confines of the pot. The sensation grows painful if your still expanding body presses against the metal, but the straining metal gives way, bursting into 1,000 pieces. The goblins are running in all directions. You turn to face Throg, to find him slumped against a counter, impaled by a jagged shard of the pot. Rubbish, Throg gasps. You return to normal size. The goblins, peering through the doorway, slowly creep back in and return to working. You grab a few loaves of bread and slip them into your pack. No one argues. The kitchen staff are all now back to work, noses down. Clearly they are hoping you will leave. Let's see what he's got in the larder. You make your way across the room to the far door. No one stops you. You open the door and slip into the larder. It is stocked with food that looks actually edible, unlike most of what is piled in the kitchen. But there doesn't seem to be much more to it, so why go to all the trouble of guarding it so jealously? The door opens behind you, and Phil slips in somewhat breathlessly. I can't believe you did that, she hisses. Everyone's saying you're going to take over as head chef. Is it true? Would you have me? Poor Phil all but falls over. In a heartbeat, she replies. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Can we abandon our mission and start a new life with this goblin lady? I know we can't rewind. I know I'll have to start this book over if we fuck this up. I can't help but try. I gotta shoot my shot. You smile at her. She comes to stand beside you. So, what should we do next? What should I get from here? Yes, Silk. She looks at you eyes wide. What would you like? He replies. You move some sacks to get access to the far wall, but once you get a look at it, there's nothing much to be seen. Silk winds her hand roughly, clearly building up the courage to say something. What is it? Oh, nothing. I'm just sorry about what happened in there, she says. They don't usually cook new recruits. Were they joking? She shakes her head. No, I don't think so. You search around the shelves and come across an interesting old cloth bag that rattles when you pick it up. You open the string on the bag and tip out the contents. 3 oversized teeth spilled out onto your palm. Giant's teeth, Silk remarks. If you boil them for, about a week, they make quite a powerful stock, good for special occasions. Ooh. You nod and slip the teeth into your money pouch. There's a shout from your nostrils, and Silk dashes over to peek out. She knocks 2 sacks over clumsily as she goes. Flour spills across the floor. By Gred's nostrils, I should have been born a troll. The flour has made a curious pattern on the stone. The stone floor has indeed picked up a strange pattern on the floor, as if someone had tried to scuff away footprints near one particular floorboard. What is it? Silk demands. Have you seen something? Inspecting carefully, you notice a thin seam running across some floorboards. A less keen observer would never have noticed it. You pick up a nearby fork and pry at the seam. A section of floor pops up on disguised hinges. A trapdoor. Phil gasps. Is that a cellar or is it a tunnel? You peer down into the tunnel below the kitchen. A chill breeze is rushing along the tunnel. Must go some distance. What is it? Silk breathes. A tunnel inside? Do you want to come? Inside? They're all mad inside the walls. I won't even be able to sleep again knowing that's there. You quickly gather a good number of loaves of bread and blocks of cheese, along with more obscure items. This should keep you stocked for the rest of your journey. Silk watches you nervously. If Throg was still here, he'd skin you for thieving. Silk is tense as you peer down into the hole. You could turn back, or descend below. You climb downwards into the tunnel, squinting in the dim light. It's narrow, but there doesn't seem to be anyone in it. Are you really going? Silk whispers from above. I have to, you tell her. Will you come back this way? She demands. We've only just met. Prepare yourself. Mampeg is changing. But I can't come with you. Look at that tunnel. I won't fit. Isn't there another way? I'll come back for you, you promise, but she shakes her head, not believing. Goodbye, she whispers in reply. I hope you find whatever it is you're looking for. With that, she closes the trapdoor over your head. You hear the scrape of the flour bag is shifted on top of it and the distant wail of tears. There is no turning back now. If there is the slightest chance that we can come back for Filk, I promise y'all, we will come back for Filk. But for now, we're not turning back for anything. We're going deep into the tunnels to fight the Archmage. Tomorrow, that is, we're doing that. right now, it's time to quit. So, as always, I thank you all for attending this goblin romance fantasy that has been derailed into a different plot. Shateri is streaming Animal Well, by the way, if anyone was watching that and wanted to go watch it again. I don't think I'm gonna raid into it, but no, you know what? Let's raid Shateri. Let's surprise Shateri before raid. I won't be sticking around for it much longer than, you know, saying hi, but let's raid Shateri.
Let's go, Weepy!
Let's go, Weepy! By which I mean Saria, apparently. I am sorry to break your heart.
Ice is frozen water.
So yeah, let's raid into Shateri and say hi. I don't think I'll be sticking around.
Get involved.
But
Birdie ball ball. Ball birdie ball. Ball birdie. Birdie wordy ball. Oh.
I will take that as a shut up and raid. So, goodbye everybody.